The Taj Mahal. It's got to be one of the most recognizable buildings on the entire planet. But what do we really know about it? Today, we're going to go behind that iconic image to uncover the incredible story etched into its marble walls.
Right? We've all seen this picture 1,000 times. But this isn't just some beautiful building. It's a declaration. It's about love and grief and just staggering imperial power. So how in the world did an emperor's heartbreak lead to the creation of a global icon? Well, let's dive in.
All right, let's start with the basics, right at the beginning. The name itself. What does Taj Mahal actually mean?
Well, the answer is surprisingly straightforward. Taj Mahal comes from Persian. Taj means crown, and Mahal means palace, so it is, quite literally, the crown of the palace. You have to admit that's a pretty fitting title for a monument built to honor an empress.
But to really get this building, you have to understand the people behind it. Because at its heart, this is a love story.
So, let's meet our main characters. On the one hand, you have the 5th Mughal emperor, Shah Jahan, and on the other, his favorite wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Their bond, you guys, is the real foundation this entire story is built on.
But then, in 1631, tragedy strikes. While giving birth to their 14th child, Mumtaz Mahal died. And for the emperor, this loss was absolutely devastating.
And this isn't just legend. The depth of his sorrow was actually recorded by court historians. They wrote that he was so consumed by grief that he just checked out. He withdrew from public life for 2 full years. No royal duties, no music, no fancy clothes. It was from this incredible loss that the vision for a memorial unlike any other began to form.
So, how do you even begin to channel that kind of grief into something real? Well, for Shah Jahan, the answer was to build something on a scale the world had literally never seen before. And when you look at the numbers, the sheer scale of this project is just staggering.
Just try to wrap your head around this. It took a workforce of over 20,000 people. We're talking artisans, laborers, sculptors, all brought together from across the empire to make this vision a reality.
And this was not a quick job. The entire complex, from start to finish, took a mind-boggling 22 years to complete, from 1631 all the way to 1653.
And the price tag? Oh man. If you convert it to today's money, the cost is estimated to be around $827 million, an almost unimaginable investment for a single monument.
But it wasn't just about spending a ton of money. It was about perfection. The entire structure is an absolute masterclass in symmetry. I mean, if you drew a line right down the middle, one side is a perfect mirror image of the other. It creates this incredible sense of harmony and balance.
And of course, you can't talk about the Taj without talking about its centerpiece, that iconic marble onion dome. It stands 23 meters high. It's the undeniable crowning glory of the whole thing.
Okay, now here's a detail that just shows how brilliant the design is. You see the 4 minarets, those towers at the corners? They're not perfectly straight. They were actually built to lean slightly outward. Why? So that if there were ever an earthquake, they would fall away from the main tomb, protecting it from any damage. So clever.
You know, from a distance, the walls just look like pure white marble. But as you get closer, you start to see it. They're covered in these exquisitely detailed, low-relief carvings of flowers and vines. It's just a stunning testament to the incredible skill of those thousands of artisans.
But the main chamber of the Taj Mahal holds a pretty big secret. It turns out the magnificent tombs that everyone gathers around to see, well, they aren't the real ones.
So here's how it works. On the main floor, you have these incredibly ornate jewel-inlaid monuments. Those are called cenotaphs, and they're basically for public viewing. But the actual tombs, the sarcophagi containing the remains of Mumtaz Mahal and Shah Jahan, are kept in a much quieter, simpler chamber directly below, totally hidden from public view.
But here's the thing to remember. The tomb itself is only the centerpiece. The whole thing sits on a massive 42-acre complex, and the entire space was designed with one powerful, symbolic idea in mind. And that big idea was to create a paradise on earth. The grounds are laid out in a classic style called a charbagh, or a paradise garden. It's divided into 4 sections by water channels, and that layout is meant to symbolize the 4 rivers of paradise described in the Quran.
So that famous reflecting pool isn't just there for a pretty picture, it's actually a key part of the symbolism. The whole complex, the gardens, the water, the tomb, it was all designed to be a literal representation of heaven on earth, a worthy, final resting place for his beloved.
And that commitment to perfect symmetry goes way beyond the main tomb. It's flanked by two identical buildings made of this beautiful red sandstone. On one side, you have a functioning mosque, and on the other side, a building known as the Jawab, which means answer. And its primary purpose is, get this, to just serve as a perfect mirror to the mosque, completing the site's flawless harmony. They built a whole building just for symmetry.
But the story didn't end once the last stone was laid. Nope. In the centuries since it was finished, the Taj Mahal has had a pretty dramatic journey of its own.
You see, after its completion, the Taj eventually fell into a period of really serious neglect. It wasn't until the early 1900s that it was saved by a massive restoration project. Then in 1983, it was officially named a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And today, its greatest battle is a modern one, trying to protect that brilliant white marble from the effects of acid rain and pollution.
All of which kind of leaves us with a final thought. For over 350 years, the Taj Mahal has captivated the world. But what is the real source of its power? Is it the perfect symmetry and the breathtaking beauty of the building itself? Or is it the timeless, very human story of love and loss that it represents? You know, maybe the real genius of the Taj Mahal is that you just can't separate the two.